Overtrading doesn't happen because you see good setups. It happens because sitting still with uncertainty feels worse than taking action. Overtrading is anxiety management. It's your brain using activity to make uncertainty feel more controllable. And the more you trade, the more you convince yourself you're being productive. But productivity and profitability aren't the same thing. Trading creates discomfort. The market is always moving. Opportunities always seem to be happening somewhere. And when you're sitting still, watching but not acting, your brain interprets that as falling behind, as wasting time, as missing out on the action. That discomfort builds, and the easiest way to relieve it is to do something, to take a trade. Not because the trade matches your plan, because doing something feels better than doing nothing. That's the trap. You're not responding to opportunity. You're responding to discomfort. The illusion is that more activity equals more control. If you're trading, you're engaged. You're participating. You're making decisions. And decision-making feels like control. But control in trading isn't about how much you're doing. It's about how well you're executing your edge. And your edge doesn't appear more often just because you want it to. Forcing trades when your edge isn't present doesn't give you control. It gives you the feeling of control. And that feeling costs you money. Overtrading dilutes your edge. Your plan is built around specific conditions. When those conditions appear, you have an advantage. But when you start taking setups that are close enough, or good enough, or just different enough that maybe they count, you're no longer trading your edge. You're trading your need to be active. And the market doesn't reward activity. It rewards execution. Fewer quality setups executed well will always outperform more marginal setups executed because you couldn't sit still. Here's what makes overtrading insidious. It doesn't feel like a mistake while you're doing it. It feels like you're working, like you're putting in the effort, like you're staying sharp. You see movement, you take a trade, you manage it, you move on to the next one. That feels productive. But productivity in trading isn't measured by how busy you are. It's measured by how consistently you execute your plan. And the more you trade outside your plan, the less consistent you become. You're not staying sharp. You're training yourself to ignore your filters. Discomfort with waiting is not a signal to trade. It's a signal that you're uncomfortable with uncertainty. And uncertainty is the environment. It's not something you can trade your way out of. The market will always be uncertain. Opportunities will always be appearing somewhere. And sitting still will always feel like you're missing something. But that feeling isn't telling you to act. It's telling you that you're human. And humans don't like uncertainty. But trading requires you to sit with it, not escape it. The shift is recognizing that doing nothing is doing something. When your plan says wait, waiting is the work. It's not wasted time. It's discipline. It's proof that you can tolerate discomfort without acting on it. And that's the skill that separates traders who last from traders who burn out. Because the market will always give you enough action to stay busy. But staying busy isn't the same as staying profitable. And if you can't tell the difference, you'll keep trading until there's nothing left to trade with. Overtrading also has a compounding effect. Every trade you take outside your plan teaches your brain that discomfort is a valid reason to override your process. And once that lesson is learned, it spreads. You override your plan when you're bored, frustrated, confident after wins, or desperate after losses. The pattern becomes your default response to any discomfort. And at that point, you don't have a plan anymore. You have guidelines you follow when it's easy. The fix isn't about trading less. It's about trading only when your edge is present. That might mean fewer trades. It might mean longer stretches of inactivity. It might mean watching the market move without participating. And all of that will feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is not danger. It's just discomfort. And learning to sit with it without needing to act is what makes execution possible. Because the trades that matter aren't the ones that make you feel busy. They're the ones that match your plan. Overtrading is not a discipline problem. It's an anxiety problem. And you don't solve it by forcing yourself to trade less. You solve it by recognizing the discomfort that makes you want to trade more, and then choosing not to act on it. Not because you're stronger, because you understand what's happening. And understanding gives you a choice. Act on the discomfort, or wait for the edge. One builds your account. The other just makes you feel better for a moment.